Also reporting tonight from Steve Hayes at the Weekly Standard that those detainees at Gitmo knew that this transfer was going to happen likely, as opposed to Congress, which did not. Quote, sources with knowledge of the transfer tell the Weekly Standard that prisoners at Guantanamo understood in the days before the transfer that something significant was imminent and may well have known who was being transferred. The security profile at Guantanamo had been raised, these sources say, and the daily routines of several prisoners had been broken up. Ramzi Kassem, the law professor at the City University of New York, who has represented the detainees, told the Associated Press the coming transfer was hardly a secret among the prison population. In testimony last week, James Clapper, the director of national intelligence, was asked whether Bergdahl's failing health meant the exchange had to be expedited. He said, quote, the intel wouldn't support that, he replied.
But the fact that the prisoners, if Hayes' reporting is right, and I bet it is, knew before they did, it's almost unbelievable. The more you know about the story, the more confusing it is. My current bafflement stems from this. If you're the Obama administration and you want to close Gitmo and get rid of these guys, sending them to Qatar is not the only option. Why didn't they put them on trial?
Well, I mean, I think it's very explicable. They're trying to find reasons to justify it, other than saying we made a bad deal, one that injures the country, but we felt we had an overwhelming obligation to spring this last guy. That's the argument. There's no other argument. And Kerry and the others should try telling the truth. You know, it's easier to memorize. He says we don't have to worry about the 5 guys that we released. We have an eye on them. That's a joke. Everybody understands that these guys are loose. They're probably working right now. They have all kinds of communication. They're going to end up in Afghanistan. We know that. Say it honestly. The bravado of saying we're watching them and we can kill them, as if it's some kind of, Hunger Game action here. And secondly, what Chambliss is saying is also true. The idea, they invented the idea that he was about to die, it sounded like, because of health reasons. All of a sudden he shows up, and that apparently is not true, so they make up a second excuse. Well, they would have killed him had the word leaked out. Chambliss is telling us there's no evidence of that. Why not just say the truth? It was a hard deal, a difficult deal, a repulsive deal, but we did it. Again, the same way other countries in redeeming their captives. But the lie after lie, and also the pretense that this ought to be something we ought to celebrate with the Rose Garden stunt is simply appalling. And that's why even people who would have done the swap like me are simply disgusted and appalled by the way they have handled it.